So first of all, I want to welcome everyone who's on the call to the AI Club. If you guys are here to learn more about artificial intelligence and machine learning, you are in the right place. In this presentation, you guys will be talking. You'll meet the entire team, all the officers on the AI Club. You'll get to learn a little bit about what we do and so forth. So I'll go ahead and start the presentation. So yeah, thank you all for coming. By the way, I appreciate it. So on today's agenda, what we're going to be doing is we're going to introduce the AI team. So all the officers on the team will be introducing themselves. We'll give a brief history about the club, how it grew, what kind of meetings have we had in the past, and what kind of meetings do we have planned out for the coming semester. Towards the end, we'll also give you guys a little bit of an idea of what we think AI is, and we have a lot of students ranging from bachelor's to master's to even PhD students who have a lot of experience and will give you a better idea of their experience within the field. So without further ado, let's go ahead and meet the team. So my name is Adolf Mope. I'm a computer systems engineering student here at Arizona State University. I'm currently doing the 4+1 in computer engineering with a concentration in autonomous systems and robotics. And I have been with the club for quite some time now. I want to say 2.5 years. Yeah, and I'm super excited to work with all of you. Amit, did you want to go next?
Sure. So hi, I'm Amit. I work at Biodesign Institute, and I'm as a senior software engineer. I am the co-founder and advisor of the club. The club was founded along with other two members in February of 2018, and since then we have grown a lot. So really looking forward to meeting you all and working with you all. Thank you.
Ava?
Hi, everyone. I'm Ava. I'm a sophomore computer science student. I just started starting my leadership in business certificate. I've been with the club since last fall. I was the communications director before, so if you were a member since then, you would have heard a lot from me. I'm in Chi Omega, the sorority. I interned with Raytheon this summer in the test automation department up in Marlborough, Massachusetts, where I'm from, which was really fun. So I'm hoping to go back with them, hopefully in the AI division, but if not, the test work was really cool too. So yeah.
Aishwarya?
Hello everyone, my name is Aishwarya. I am a graduate computer engineering student at ASU. I started this spring, so this is my first semester with the club. I'm excited to meet all of you, and I hope you guys will attend all our meetings in the future.
Jamie?
Hi, everyone. My name's Jamie. I'm a sophomore computer science student and the communications director for the club. So if you, like most of the emails you'll be getting about like the meetings or workshops we're doing will be coming from me. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at any time, and I'll try to answer the best of my ability. Yeah, and it's my first semester working with the AI Club, so I'm really excited about it. And yeah.
And James? James?
I think you're muted.
Sorry about that. I'm James. I'm the marketing director for the club. I'm a fourth-year computer science major with a minor in business. And I've worked at the Intel Corporation for also 4 years now. Lovely to meet everyone. I hope you've all made yourselves at home, because you are at home. And it'll be a pleasure to work with all of you this upcoming semester.
I was going to say, your picture looks like from the Chandler campus, Intel.
It is. That's where I work. You've been there.
I worked there, interned as well.
Wow. Which group?
I was in ATTD, like Assembly Test Technology Development.
Lovely place. Lovely food, too. It's free right now. You should totally go for lunch.
All right, moving forward, we still have a pretty big team, so go for it. Joshua, did you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey everyone, my name is Joshua. I am a junior computer systems engineering student. I just finished my minor in business, and this is my first semester on the office support of the AI Club. So I'm a marketing director in the club, so I help James run the website and do all the marketing and communications of the team. But yeah, that's me.
Sweet. Shreyas?
Yeah, hi there. My name is Shreyas. I'm a sophomore studying computer science, and I am the member liaison for the AI Club. And I've been here since the spring 2020 semester. So this is my second semester working on this team.
Cool. And then Michael?
Hello, my name is Michael. I am also a sophomore studying computer science and also a member liaison and also started in the spring of 2020. So yeah, Shreyas and I work together pretty well and pretty closely. And if you guys have any ideas to make this club better, let us know.
Sweet. Jay, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Jay. I'm currently a first year PSU student over here at ASU. In the past, I have interned at Philips Research Labs, HackerRank, and NTU in Singapore. And right now, my current research interests are in biomedical and image computing. And I'm currently a technical director with the AI Club over here. So I'll be helping the team organizing a lot of technical workshops in this semester. In the last semester, we organized Python workshops and few other technical workshops. So hopefully, we would be organizing few interesting events this semester too. Yeah.
Karthik?
All right. Hi, everyone. So this is Karthik. So I'm an undergrad technical director with AI Club. I joined here last semester and I have some research experience in robotics and machine learning. And I've also been interning with two companies like Hughes Network Systems and then the University of Phoenix. And currently I'm a software developer with University Technology Office at ASU. And I also work with Jay and I work with other members to, create technical workshops basically. And that's what it is. And welcome everyone to the AI Club.
And Rishabh?
Hey guys, I'm a grad comp sci student here at ASU. I just joined this spring and joined this club recently as a chief of data. So yeah, just waiting for an exciting sem and a lot of events. I work here at the place right now as a data scientist, student worker, and yeah, that's it. Good to see you all.
Sweet. So now that you guys have met the entire team, we have a pretty big officer board. Our club is actually very large. We have approximately more than 600 members listed within our organization on our email list, and we have more than several hundred members listed on our Sun Devil Sync. We'll be talking a little bit more about how you guys heard about us towards the end of the presentation. Before I continue with this presentation, first of all, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to join us through Zoom. This is just as much of a new experience for us as it is for you. We know it sucks that not everything is in person and the meetings are a little bit more different considering the fact that we're at home. So it may not feel like that original experience that you may have received if you were with us before, but we will do the best we can possibly do to make sure that you guys enjoy all of our meetings and that you gain the most knowledge from them as much as possible. Another thing is that Shreyas, if you have the link to that Google form, he's going to drop it within that chat box. Go ahead and fill it out whenever you can. You can do it while I'm talking or you can do it towards the end. We essentially just want to collect some information about what our members are, who our members are in the organization, and essentially what do they expect. Just a general head count of people who attended. Yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the organization. So what is the AI Club's main objective for semesters, even from apart this one? Our main objective is to educate, prepare, engage, and connect all students at ASU with each other who are interested in learning more about AI and machine learning. So just one misconception that many people have is that they think that they require a lot of prerequisite knowledge before joining our club. There is no knowledge necessary in joining our organization. You can be a complete freshman or you can be a professional in AI. It doesn't matter. We take everyone and anyone when registering for the club. Another thing is, crap, I lost my train of thought. But essentially, yeah, we take anyone. Our club varies from all types of students. So we have students who are freshmen, sophomore, graduate students, master's students, senior students, PhD students. It ranges. So we're both an undergrad and a graduate student organization. Moving forward. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a little bit about the past meetings that we've had in fall 2019. So for the officers who were with me at this time period, feel free to add on. So Ava, Amit, if you guys want to mention a couple things, by all means, go for it. We're basically going to be, so some of these meetings, for those of you who have been with us, it may resemble the previous meeting structures that we've had, but they're not going to be the same meetings. Some of them might have new information that we will have. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we discuss the syllabus towards the end of the presentation. But yeah, so fall 2019 first meeting, it was a general introduction. So just like how we're having it right now, we did the same thing in person in 2019. And we just kind of talked about what are the expectations for the club and what can people expect to learn throughout the semester. It was a pretty introductory meeting, just like what it is today. So yeah.
If you did go to that one, what you probably remember is me being sick and coughing at the front of the room the entire meeting, feeling so embarrassed. That's me holding my water bottle at the front in the picture. So yeah, that's that. If you remember that meeting, it's this one.
She was pretty miserable that day. What a trooper.
So bad.
What a trooper. Okay, moving forward. So we have a broad variety of the types of workshops we'll have for this semester. So our first official meeting last semester was our second official meeting was how to win hackathons. That was led by our former vice president, Hari Mayappan. At the time, Hari kind of gave his experience about how he won multiple hackathons before, and talked a little bit about how you can register for hackathons and what can you expect within a hackathon and what kind of culture is commonly established. So that's something that I wish he's not here with us today, but maybe later down the semester, if he decides to zoom in, we'll definitely kind of have a similar meeting to this where he gives you guys a little bit more advice and experience within these hackathons. Onwards, fields of AI. So just out of curiosity, if you are do we have any freshmen on the call right now? Does anyone want to say anything?
I'm a freshman.
Oh, cool. Caitlin, nice to meet you.
Also a freshman.
Awesome.
I'm a freshman.
I'm also a freshman.
Sweet.
I'm also a freshman.
You guys are getting involved. I'd love to see it.
Great. Yeah, it's always a good thing to get involved as soon as possible. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys are here. So this meeting is tailored towards people who typically do not have that much experience within AI. If you have a lot of experience as a freshman, kudos to you. That's pretty impressive. Not many people that I know have that much experience, but essentially the whole concept of this meeting is we'll be talking a little bit about the fields of AI, and we had this before and we intend to have it again this semester as well. It's more of an introductory meeting towards getting you guys accustomed to understanding what is artificial intelligence and what is machine learning. So you'll also learn a little bit about like what are the subsets of AI ranging from NLP to computer vision and so forth. Yeah, and this is going to be a pretty exciting meeting. And in this picture, yeah, you can see Ava. Ava, what do you want to talk about the Grace Hoppers?
Yeah, so basically I'll go back to when I was a senior. It was the spring of my senior year, and I was pretty sure I was going to ASU. I got offered to apply for a scholarship through ASU to attend the Grace Hopper Women in Computing Conference out in Orlando, Florida. And basically and I got it. And so I went on an all paid kind of trip. We stayed in Universal and we got to attend the conference for 4 days. And it was all just women like in basically computing, AI industries, that kind of thing. And there were big kind of, that made me laugh. You guys are funny. There were like big talks, and then you were like little smaller workshops. There was like a big floor with booths. You could go for like real job interviews for like Intel, all the big companies, Spotify, Nike was there. Like literally it was just all sorts of companies and like their tech divisions basically. And so there were interviews and stuff. As a freshman, I took it more as the opportunity to kind of explore and just see everything that was available and all the different things you can do. Because as a freshman, I wasn't really going out for a job interview for like a full-time job, you know. But it was really awesome. We got to stay in Universal. Literally the whole thing was paid for. I had to pay for one meal a day. That was it. And then it was in October. And so one of the nights we went to Halloween Horror Nights, me and one of the girls, because we just had the nights off. So it was a nice little trip away from school. It was excused. It was a great experience. I met so many people. I learned so much. Met kids from other like universities and stuff. It was really awesome. So that was a really good time, a really cool experience. So look at what the stuff ASU sends you and even go dig for it. They have a lot of money. Like there's so many cool things that they do. You just have to apply. And so that was awesome.
Cool. All right, let's keep going. So we had way more meetings. It's just that I didn't want to bore you guys talking about every single meeting that we possibly had. So let's move on to spring 2020. And just so everyone knows, this is our logo. It's pretty sick. Anyways, so our first meeting. So we for this semester for spring 20 or not this last semester, we had one of the former founders of the Artificial Intelligence Club come in and give his experience. Right now, he works as a data engineer. He worked at Lighthouse. He recently got appointed a new job as a data engineer with a new company. I can't remember where. But he went ahead and talked about a little bit about his experience and his work with AI, especially at his in his company. And he also talked a little bit about how he grew up as a student, because he he graduated from ASU a while back as well. So he gave a lot of good, insightful information about how you can become more involved as a student and learn more about AI in today's society. Moving forward, we had our second meeting, which was the Python workshop. And as of right now, we have one of the graduate technical we have one of our graduate technical directors, Jay. Jay, I feel like you're the best one to talk about this since you're the one who led it. So why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, sure. So I guess, the workshop had two sections, I guess. The first one, the idea of that workshop was to basically educate people on what are the basics of Python, because from whatever experiences are, like Python is to be the most easiest language people use in terms of AI applications and machine learning applications. So we thought it would be really helpful for people to know what are the Python commands. And one of the things that we focused was trying to make sure that we teach the commands that are typically useful for machine learning applications, because you can go on and on for Python, but like the specific commands that you need to learn. So I guess the first section of that workshop covered those basic Python commands and how to get started with it. And the second part of the workshop, which was led by Hari, we built actually from a scratch a classifier that is a typical very state-of-the-art model based on a data set called iris classifier, where we built, I don't remember the exact algorithm that we used, but maybe it was a decision tree based iris classifier that we built. And I don't remember the total strength of that workshop, but that workshop was pretty full of the whole class, and I don't think so we had any huge audience than that. So it was a really well received workshop. So yeah, it was a nice workshop for, I guess, for all the members.
Sorry about that. Definitely. It was one of the largest workshops we've ever conducted. I think we had more than I think around 140 people came in that day. So we had a lot of people really interested, and we intend to have another workshop just like this semester. So for those of you who don't have much experience within coding in Python, or even that much experience within machine learning, we hope to get you guys on the right track and kind of tailor our workshops to gear you for the coming semesters. Moving forward, our third meeting was with Jolyn. Jolyn was actually one of our guest speakers. She talked a little bit about her business, I've Been Vetted, and she gave some she gave some information about like how she includes machine learning techniques within her corporation. We will continue to have many guest speakers like Jolyn come in, and we'll also have recruiters. I know in one of our upcoming meetings, we actually have a software engineer, if I'm not mistaken, Ava, who's coming in from Raytheon, and not coming in, but he'll be joining us over Zoom and talking a little bit about his experience with machine learning and AI, and give us a lot of advice on how we can get more involved with the field in the industry itself.
Basically, with him, it's he's the AI and machine learning lead for their division out in Tucson, so close to here. And basically, he's going to come and talk about a little bit how they use it in the defense industry and how that's evolved.
Moving forward. So yeah, Andrew Hudson was another guest speaker that we had who gave a lot. By the way, I just see the chat. Let's just make sure that we're monitored. Let me just double check. It looks like everything's good. Sorry. Anyways, oh yeah. So regarding our fourth meeting, Andrew Hudson was definitely one of our guest speakers who came in and talked a little bit about his experience with AI and how AI is closely intertwined with science fiction. And basically, something that I think some of us actively dismiss is the idea of where do such wild ideas stem from, and we fail to realize that like some of these ideas actually came from science fiction. So Andrew talked a little bit about how he believed science fiction has completely revolutionized the industry, and how mythologies about AI were presented in such novels. Moving forward. So that's a little bit about all the past meetings that we've had, and I know I've talked a lot. So now we're just gonna go ahead and introduce the semester's agenda. By the way, for any of my other fellow officers, if you guys wanna add on to this, by all means, go for it. But just for our members, something that you guys can expect us to have is many technical workshops. We have a few ranging from Intro to Python. We'll have the Fields of AI lecture, and then we'll also have, I believe, an introduction to convolutional CNN, so convolutional neural networks, and RNNs as well. We'll also have an Intro to Machine Learning workshop as well soon enough. We have a variety of guest lectures planned out for you guys, along with a few recruiters coming in. We also potentially plan to hold resume reviews. So if you guys want to get your resumes checked, we have a lot of graduate officers or undergrad officers who've had internships and who have a lot of experience within this domain and can give some quality feedback, I would say. So what is AI? So this, I'll leave this open-ended, but Jay, why don't you go ahead and lead this?
Sure. Yeah. So I guess Advait did reach out to me like for this particular presentation that why don't I go ahead and define AI. And one of the key things about, and ironically bad and good thing about AI is, although being a master student, one of the key challenges of people working in AI is the lack of clarity that what AI really stands for is really lacking. Even if you talk to researchers who are giving really great presentations, they might just address this issue saying that there still lacks a clear definition of what really AI stands for. And the reason for the lack of clarity is understanding what really intelligence stands for. So I guess the way over the time what people have formalized intelligence into very broadly speaking domains is understanding what really intelligence stands from a human perspective. So normally when we call that, hey, humans are intelligent than other species, we mean by saying broadly classifying into domains like cognition, perception, and other tasks like understanding of like how emotional intelligence works versus how social intelligence works. And if you see most of the artificial intelligence domains being currently developed and really fun, like nourished over in the industry, like natural language processing, computer vision, robot planning, and a lot of things, they try to address these particular domains of intelligence. So broadly saying, what artificial intelligence really stands for, stands in terms of a very broad concept is basically making models that can be almost equivalent, or if not better than current human intelligence. And the definition, when we talk about what really AI means, it differs from context to context, application to application, and like I said, intelligence domains. So I guess if we go to the next slide, like this is kind of the most generalized definition, but again, a lot of give and take happens when we talk about different applications. So I guess I'll keep the floor open to people, like maybe to the members and also the officers. What do you guys think about, like, what does AI really, how do you understand AI from a very naive aspect? Feel free to barge in.
AI is the finding of patterns in data and making use of those patterns to gain intelligence, knowledge, or to do various tasks.
Yeah, that's quite yeah, that's true. It's one of the applications, like understanding what, like I guess in one of the recent talks by one of the, like, I don't know if all of you guys know, but Yen Likun mentioned this very nice thing. What does AI stand for? Is to understanding the future, understanding the past, and making sense of what we really need to do in the present. And that is kind of the broad aspect. So yes, that seconds the thing that you said, like making predictions and pattern recognition is one of the key tasks of AI.
It looks like one of my old students is in this class. No? Or are you my student this semester? Hi. I think you're in my class this semester. No, not this semester. Sorry, I should have done that in chat. So I teach computer science at the community college, and I'm also finishing my PhD here at ASU in machine learning. So I thought I'd pop in and say hi, and apparently I got recognized. Sorry.
That's so exciting. Thank you for
coming. So I'm interested in participating if you guys, if that's useful to anybody.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Yeah.
Any other definitions that people have for AI? It would be really interesting.
So what I think, AI is something that basically just mimics the human behavior. That's what AI is, and then all that machine learning and everything is basically a subset of AI. That's what my perspective is.
Interesting.
For me, a very basic definition would be to treat AI like as an infant which learns from experience and data, what we call. So it's something synonymous to an infant which learns by its experience and makes learns gradually. So something like that.
From a very naive perspective, like we can define AI as making machines do something which was only supposed to be done by humans previously, but now it can be done by machines as well.
True.
And also, I think AI is something that's going to take up human jobs, basically.
We have a couple of people also in the chat box stating some ideas. One member particularly says, "I think AI to me is the ability to process human cognitive abilities using machines." Valid point, interesting point. Does any of our members have any other ideas? You guys feel free to unmute yourself. You don't have to use the chat box. If not,
I'm not a member technically, but my junior year of high school, my big research paper in my English class, it was a project. We had to do an interactive presentation about it too. I did mine all on artificial intelligence and if it would take over jobs and which kind of jobs and why certain jobs might be more affected or different traits and skills that people have, and kind of analyze the whole thing. And it's coming for us. For sure.
Awesome, cool. I think that we'll continue on this topic a little bit more towards the end. Let's just go ahead and keep going with the presentation because I'm sure some people have more questions. And for those who have to get going, Aishwarya, do you want to talk a little bit about what you think about the future of AI is?
Yes, sure. So right now we're at this point of time where it seems like AI is taking over everything, and like Ava said, it's It is kind of, in a way, like it's going to take up a lot of the, not mundane jobs, but jobs that can be automated and can be done by AI. They are going to be taken away. But then here's the good part. There are going to be new jobs that are going to be created because of the jobs that were taken away. So we don't technically have to be worried, but we should be prepared for a future where we're doing different jobs than we are today. And there are like a lot of components to what the future of AI holds. How, like all of us have different definitions of AI. There are different industries and um, different organizations and stuff that AI is going to either enhance, or it's going to eliminate, or it might even create. So one thing would be autonomous driverless cars, like everyone's talking about it. Everyone wants to create one. Tesla's working on one. So those kind of things. Or it can even be something as simple as just enhancing the human experience, like making it such that we don't actually have to work as hard to experience something as we did before. So yeah, I'm generally giving you a very, very, very broad definition of what AI in the future holds. If anyone has anything in specific that they'd like to mention, or if anyone has a specific idea of what it actually might mean, feel free to interrupt me. But yeah, I'd actually like to know what everyone thinks about this, because I know there are a lot of thoughts that everyone has about what AI might mean for our future in terms of jobs, or even just our basic like livelihood or whatever. So yeah, if anyone has any ideas, or if anyone wants to mention anything interesting, go ahead.
I think the add on towards the end, it's just that we are also crunching time, so I'm just going to move to the next slide for now, at least. Cool. And then Ava, do you want to talk about Abacon? Ava?
Okay, now I'm unmuted. Sorry. Yeah, so basically Abacon is a company that created their own kind of novel technology to be able to track atrial fibrillation, which is basically irregular heartbeats, and that can lead to all sorts of issues and bad things, to happen. They have to monitor it. So basically they created an entire technology that can basically learn it, monitor it, and process it in such a new way that they're able to treat stuff in real time or quicker than they ever could. And it's a really cool technology, and I think the medical field is one that's really going to benefit possibly the most from the development of smarter technology. Yeah, so that's basically that. There's a lot more I could say, but I mean the gist is that they've completely revolutionized how you can watch a heart and the heartbeat, and how much better and like further we can go with that technology and helping people and saving people than we could, beforehand.
Sweet. So now that we have talked a little bit about what the club does, you guys got a little bit of a better understanding of what artificial intelligence is and how it's growing in today's industry. We're going to go ahead and conclude this presentation. I know a couple of you have reached out to me. If you do have experience in AI and would love to present or be a guest speaker, we'd love to have you on board. Go ahead and privately message me or even any one of the officers, just with your name and your email, and we will get in touch with you promptly and plan it out from there. If you're interested in being an officer, we would love to work with you. We are currently, as of right now, we have 13 officers registered, so we aren't looking for any officers as of right now, but we will be looking for new officers to join the team towards the end of the semester. If you guys want to stay posted as to when our upcoming meetings are and kind of get a better idea of what we discuss, go ahead and follow our syllabus link. If you filled out that Google form that Trace is going to drop like right now again, It'll have the syllabus link on there. It'll have the AI Club YouTube link on there. Our YouTube link is still under, our YouTube is still under construction. We're still making some modifications to our channel, but it'll have all of our meetings recorded and uploaded onto YouTube. So if you can't make it to one of our Zoom meetings, that's completely okay. It'll be posted on YouTube so you guys can view it there and check it out there. And yeah, our syllabus, if you click on this link, I will go ahead and click on it in just a second. It'll have like a chart of all of the upcoming meetings that we'll have. And then regarding our Slack, you can join our Slack here. Apart from that, that should be it. I think as of right now, if you guys want to check out the syllabus, I'll quickly deconstruct it right now. You'll find out who all the officers are, so you can contact any one of us through our ASU email addresses. If you guys want, you can also view, here's where you can find all of the Zoom links. We use just one Zoom link. We don't use too many different ones. So you guys can just join the Zoom link from here. Like I said, all meetings will be recorded and posted on our YouTube channel. So go ahead and follow our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel link is still being added. Kind of forgot that, but we'll add that in just in a couple of hours. And you guys can, the cool thing is with this schedule, you guys can pick out what kind of meetings you want to attend and determine whether it fits your schedule. You'll also get emails from our club's email address, or you'll get emails from Monica. So that way you can see what time our meetings will be. Typically we like to have them in the evenings like today, but we're going to be looking at our members' availability more in the future. So that way more people can come that way. Today we had a pretty good turnout. We had around 74 people come, which is pretty decent for the first meeting. But apart from that, you guys can also find more information about guest speakers who will be coming in, a little bit more information about the workshops we'll be having. And if you guys have any further questions, please contact our communications director, Jamie. And if you want to work on a potential project with us in the future, please contact Michael or Shreyas, and we'll get something up and running for you guys and get everything together pretty soon. But apart from that, that concludes today's meeting. I would like to thank everyone for coming. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. For the duration of the call, if you guys have any questions, feel free to unmute yourselves, or you can use the chat, that's fine. And all the officers will just answer the questions to the best of their ability. But thank you, everyone. That should be it. Okay, so it looks like in the chat, there's a couple people who have a couple comments. Correct me if I'm saying your name incorrectly. Is it Noel? I'm interested in any project you guys are working on. Noel, if you're interested, go ahead and contact Michael or Shreyas. You can find their email addresses on the syllabus and they can work out something. They'll get in touch with you shortly. What would a role of an officer entail? So officers really have a variety of roles. So you gain quite a bit of leadership experience. You're in charge of planning and developing meetings for our members. And you also have a lot of experience. You get a more hands-on experience with the projects that we tend to conduct. If any of the other officers want to add on to that, feel free to add. How do we get the syllabus? Yeah, so Shreyas just sent a Google Doc with all the links to all of our media. You can go ahead and follow it there. Yep. Are all the meetings at this time? As of right now, we don't have, it's going to be to where it's going to depend on our officers' availability. So we'll keep you guys posted. As of right now on the syllabus, you'll see all the dates planned out, but for the time, it'll be around this time in the evening. So I would say probably, we'll see. Depends on our availability. Yeah, of course. If you have any further questions, go ahead. You feel free to unmute yourself. Right now, I would love for all the members to get to know the officers. It'd be really cool to get to know all you guys.
I have a question.
Yeah, of course.
What kind of projects have you worked on? It sounds like you did that Python project to do a classifier for the iris data. Has there been any other kind of projects the club has worked on?
So we actually had a lot of ideas that we were going to implement last semester, but we got cut short due to COVID. So as of yeah, that and other projects that we included. Let me think back.
We've also had a chatbot where we had Harry
working with
demonstrate to us how to make a functional chatbot, which you can speak to and ask basic questions to.
Very cool.
Yeah, that one was really fun.
Yeah.
I guess we also did plan the CNN and like a CNN workshop or something like that. I mean, still, it was towards the end of the semester, so we didn't get to it. But yes, that too.
And I think about a year back, we did like an object detection using CNN. So that was again like a complete hands-on workshop. So step by step. I mean, we didn't write code. We just gave a link to the code, but we implemented step by step with the group. Yeah.
Looks like we have another question. This is open-ended. If any of the officers want to answer this, feel free to. I'm looking for projects, but I'm very new. Where should I start?
Attend our meetings.
That's one idea.
Come to like our intro ones. The intro to Python one was really, really helpful because Python's obviously a key player in the industry. So if you don't know that yet, that's a great place to start. And then from there, you know, we did follow it up with like the iris set, you know, like we can suggest stuff to kind of go from there, but I definitely say start with those. Those are definitely our really helpful workshops. We did a part 1 and a part 2.
And if it's like for machine learning, then what I had started was with EndoNG's Coursera course, which I found to be really helpful. So if anyone wants to get a head start of how ML works and things like that, I really prefer that too. I mean, just check it out and it should be really helpful.
Cool. Moving forward, have you all tried the AI Dungeon app? It's very interesting. Has anyone tried the AI Dungeon app? Just out of curiosity.
What is that?
Yeah, would you like to inform us on what that is?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
It's. I was just wondering because it's you guys were talking about like the chat box, the AI chat box. So basically, what it is that it's like it's an app, in which is and it's an infinite like text adventure like sort of style app where the AI like automatically sets up the story for you as you type in like events. Like for example, you enter the dungeon and then the AI will like continue the story for you, and then you it's kind of like a back and forth between you and the AI coming up with a story, and you can do quests and stuff like that. It's pretty interesting. I just wanted to like see if you guys have ever heard about it.
Sounds like GPT, right?
It's GPT-2.
GPT-2, yeah.
And they're making a GPT-3 one, but it's only you have to pay for it right now.
Okay, yeah. Cool. That's really interesting. Somebody made an app out of it. That's cool.
Cool. Next question. Let's see. How long would these events usually last? Ava or Aishwarya, do you guys want to answer that question while I answer this message?
Typically they're anywhere from an hour or so to an hour and a half. Depends on the meeting. So usually I think a speaker, it's anywhere from like 45 minutes to an hour, versus a workshop would probably be longer. And especially if we do like a double header, like an intro followed up by like something more advanced, it definitely would take longer. No more than like 2 hours max, but I would say anywhere from really like 45 to an hour and a half was like typical for us.
Okay, cool. Just make sure it's fine.
To become a member, technically, officially, you would want to join through Sun Devil Sync. You can request to join our club through there. That's like how ASU recognizes it, I believe. But really for us, like, as long as you just come to our meetings and kind of fill out like our sign-in forms, we get your email, we can add you to our mailing list. That's pretty much all you have to do.
Couple questions. How do we join through Sun Devil Sync? So as long as you just Google ASU Sun Devil Sync, you should, or is it? It's still Sun Devil Sync. Yeah, it was Org Sync once upon a time. As long as you just Google ASU Sun Devil Sync and log in with your My ASU account, and then just go search I think ASU AI Club or just Artificial Intelligence Club, you'll be able to find our organization on there, as we are the only Artificial Intelligence Club. I'm almost 99% sure. And you can go ahead and sign up there, and we'll have your email file that way. What are the most interesting experiences, in your opinions, you guys have with AI, like projects, etc.? Who wants to talk about that?
For the interesting experiences, I'm kind of touching upon a question that came up earlier, how to get into artificial intelligence. I would highly recommend going to a YouTube channel called Tech with Tim, especially if you're a first-year student, because this guy has a ton of different AI projects that he does, and he really goes into the basics about what AI is, and it allows you to, and he kind of walks you through a couple tutorials on how to create a chatbot and a few AI-powered programs. For an interesting experience would have to be a chatbot that I built that was supposed to answer questions and like search the internet when someone queried it, and it soon became inappropriate. So that's when I learned that AI definitely goes the wrong way if you don't program it correctly. So that was an interesting experience. But getting back to that first question about starting off with AI, I'd highly recommend that channel just to like get your feet wet, like get into the entire thing about artificial intelligence.
Yeah, anyone else want to share their experience?
Yeah, I think I did something with the Alexa voice app. So basically, I have an Alexa at home, and I, built a really nice voice app basically that just, based on your mood, it'll just, speak up things based on the intent that you pass on to it. So when your mood is happy or if it's sad, then it'll play a good song. If it's happy, then it'll just like ask you like why are you happy and all that. Just basic Alexa voice app that I did.
Well, let me see what the next question is. By ASU ID, you mean the ID number? Yeah, exactly. ASU ID number. Tech with Tim. Kristen says there's a great book called "You Look Like a Thing and I Love You" that gives a great overview of AI while being entirely hilarious and laugh out loud. If anybody's interested, highly recommend it. I would be so down to check that book out.
I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah. I think I guess I can answer that. So one of my projects that I'm still currently working with is for my capstone project, we are working on a project with Amazon called the telemedicine robot. And essentially what it is it's a miniature 1/18 scale autonomous vehicle that we have designed to carry a payload of medication and medical supplies, like attached to a trailer, obviously, to different rooms within the ICU of a hospital. Now, we haven't really, we're still doing a lot of testing. Obviously, this isn't anything that's going to be done anytime soon, but we've developed a couple reinforcement learning models through AWS Deep Bracer. So the nice thing is Amazon gave us a lot of credits to have access to the AWS services, where we were able to learn more about what are agents, how does an agent react with an environment, how do we program our own reward function, basically how do we penalize and reward our agent for every action it takes, and how is it supposed to interact with the environment. Essentially, we started for the first semester during Capstone 1, we engaged in the simulation phase, which was working through Amazon's virtual web service called Gazebo. Gazebo is just a simulator. And now for the second capstone right now, we're working with something called the AWS Deep Bracer. which is actually the 1/18th scale car. We essentially hacked it, and we're currently trying to implement our reinforcement learning model on there. We achieved like a pretty, not the highest accuracy, but we're still working on our simulation model just to achieve a higher accuracy, but by training the agent more. But once that's done, hopefully I'll have a YouTube linked video. So if you guys talk to me about it, I'll probably show you it later on towards the semester. But that's one project I'm pretty proud of that I worked with. Let's see, what's next? Computer vision for room number and tape is how I do that project. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. My garage is filled with tape because I had to build the track. What are some of the websites that I could use in order to start projects in machine learning and artificial intelligence? Kaggle nowadays has very few competitions. Who would like to answer that question?
Not sure of the competitions, but Kaggle has a very good like intro projects like Titanic or maybe customer churn prediction or even Iris, I guess. So it's really helpful. It was really helpful for me to start with Kaggle, and there's a lot of community. You can post questions and then basically tracks your performance, and it's really helpful. So Kaggle was helpful in. Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead. I mean, I
No,
thought you had
that's it.
finished.
No.
Right. So I wanted to add that for learning any machine learning or AI projects, you want to probably think of what area you want to do first, and then you can start ground up from there. Or if you want to explore all the areas, you can pick up different projects at different times and focus on one at a time and keep doing. So you want to do an NLP project, you go start from scratch and do one. Then you want to do a computer vision project, maybe do that. Then you want to do like maybe, and before that, of course, you want to start with like a little bit of classification, regression models. So there is a lot of available data on that. Like California housing data set is also very famous, and Iris is another. Iris is a small one, like about 150 rows only, but still it's highly used. So instead of thinking like, oh, I want to do all the projects, just start small, do few projects on. Start with like regression classification models, and then go for language models, then go for object detection, CNN models, and kind of thing. And as you go, read surrounding materials, watch videos, and kind of pave your own path. And as you grasp things, basically, if you're learning things quickly, you can go pretty quick in that, and otherwise take your time and spend some time on that. Yeah.
All right, so we'll just give this another 5 minutes. If you have any final questions, go ahead and ask it. You can feel free to unmute yourself. Jamie has a very interesting comment to make. You can also look for a project on GitHub or something similar and learn from someone else's code and understand it, and then try to program a bit of it on your own. That's always another alternative.
That's how I first got exposed to it. Yeah.
Did you work on a specific project that you probably want to?
Yeah, I did a voice activation or like a voice recognition program. So it works similar to Siri or like Alexa. And it was able to detect when my name was spoken within an audio clip given. So it would overlay like a chime onto the clip and then output a new audio clip with like a ding on top of my name. But I had no idea how to do that in the beginning, and like how I did it was just implementing someone else's code and like watching videos on it. So
cool, sweet. Yeah, if you guys have any final questions, go ahead. I'm trying to work with AR in the future. Is there anything AI based that you could recommend me to start in? I don't have much experience with the AR. Does anybody have any experience with that wants to answer that question? Ooh, Coursera's course is a really good course. Yeah, I saw that.
Probably look into doing some work with vision if you're looking into AR in the future. So maybe look into some convolutional neural nets, some of the computer vision courses.
Cool. There's also this library called, I think, Viro AR library that you can use, because I'm doing one of the capstone projects that involves some augmented reality, and this Viro AR is a good framework to use with the Android, I believe, if you're developing an app for the Android Studio, basically. Yeah, you can check out that.
Awesome. Do we have any more questions from our members? We will keep you guys posted. Keep a lookout for our emails or for an email from Monica, and she will inform you guys about what our next meeting will entail and what you guys can expect from them. Of course, appreciate it. Thank you for coming out tonight. We'll all see you next time in our next meeting.